Welcome to your tapping tutorial video. My name is Bree Wolta and I'm a relationship clarity coach, EFT and clearing work certified practitioner, and a huge advocate of EFT tapping. This is the main modality that I use in coaching with my clients, in circles that I lead, and retreats that I host, because it is the most accessible way to get in touch with what we're feeling and efficiently process that through the body. So if you're not familiar with EFT tapping, it stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and it does exactly that. It helps you to free the emotions that are stuck in our body. So often when we are feeling anger or anxiety or betrayal, we tend to stuff those emotions down because they are dense and they are less fun to feel than happiness and excitement and playfulness. What happens in our body when we continuously neglect what we're feeling is those feelings don't go anywhere. They need to be discharged. So they continue to compound in our bodies. And in addition to our younger years where we experience some sort of traumatic event, that energy gets stuck in our body. So we want to be able to move that, to find flow back in the body. EFT tapping is based on ancient Chinese medicine, the same meridian lines that they use in acupuncture. So we are using these energetic lines, these energetic highways in our body to tap into, remove these obstructions. If you think about an actual highway, you think about you're driving down and all of a sudden there's construction on the side of the road or on the road, which causes everyone to come down to like a one lane. What we're doing with tapping is we're removing the construction so that you can flow freely through the highway. And that's what our bodies want to do. They want to be in balance, in harmony, and in flow. So what we do with tapping is there are points on the body. There are 9 basic points that we use in what's called the tapping recipe. And what the recipe does is it signals to our nervous system that we are safe. So this is an evidence-based practice, and they've actually done studies where as you are tapping, the activity in the amygdala is decreasing. And the amygdala is where it's sort of our like security camera of our body. It's on hyper alert. It's what's activated when we're in a fight, flight, or freeze response, when we're in a trauma response, a stress response. And in today's society, we are walking around in a lot of stress and anxiety. And it's very infrequent that we come into our bodies and our bodies feel safe. So what happens when you're trying to do self-growth work or introspection or even just feeling a feeling, if you aren't feeling safe, your body's not going to let you access the deeper thing that needs to be integrated, because your body is like, hey, there is a threat in our external environment. It's not safe to look backwards. We need to look forwards. So what we do with tapping is we signal to the nervous system that we're safe. And when we're safe, we can be present with our body. We can get curious and we can go down into the places where this stuff is stuck, bring it up, feel it, integrate it, and release it. And that is the whole point, the whole intention of making actual change in your life, because you're not staying cognitively in your head just understanding a concept. You're actually feeling it and moving it and removing the blockage. So I'm going to show you the basic points, and then I'll talk about how we can use this, how you can use it in your day-to-day life, and how it looks different when you're using it with a practitioner. So the first point that we start with is on the side of the hand. So just right under your pinky, this fleshy part here, and you just tap just gently with your other hand. And we'll go into this in a little bit, but usually this point we use called the set up statement. And this is the point where we start to identify what we're feeling in our body and that we're choosing to be present with that. And we'll go through that in a minute, but just tapping on this first point right now. Then you come up to your eyebrow. So right where your hair starts here, you're just tapping gently. You can use both hands. You can use one hand, you can switch hands, doesn't matter. They're all bilateral points. Then you come to the side of the eye, right where your temple is, behind your bone, under your eye. Again, can use both, can use one, can use the other. To your nose, to your chin, to your collarbones. So a good way to find the collarbone point is underneath your bone, a little bit like 2 inches down. If you put your arms totally straight beside your chair and then you just flop them up, that's how you can find this point too. And then we come into under the arm. This one looks a little bit funny. A lot of people feel like monkeys when they're doing this. So if this is uncomfortable for you, you can also take one hand and tap on the other side of your body effectively. If you are wearing a bra, it's right where your bra line is. And for men, it's right in line with your nipple. And then the final point is the top of the head. So those are the basic points. Super, super simple. There's not a way that you can do tapping wrong. So here's an example that you would use this in your real life. Say you are starting to date and you like this guy and you haven't heard from him in a while and you're feeling a little bit anxious around why he hasn't texted, what that means, did he lose interest? And you find yourself kind of like hyper-focused on your phone, not able to focus on work, and you're feeling a lot of anxiety. What you could do in that moment is put the phone down, put the phone to the side, and you always start by coming into your body. So even just taking a few gentle breaths and feeling the air come in through your nose, into your body. Feel your sit bones really ground into your chair. And give yourself space to take a couple deep breaths and to just start to turn your focus inward. And when you think about the anxiety of not getting the text, or you think about the anxiety of what if he lost interest in me, where do you feel that in your body? So say you are feeling this this lump in your throat, this clenching, and you want to get pretty specific around what it feels like. So if it's like somebody choking you, if it's like you swallowed something, and then you want to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being, it's like there, but I can't really feel it. 10 being, I can't think about anything else aside from this lump in my throat. Rating it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then this is just a subjective rating. So it's just for your own sort of understanding of if that's getting higher or lower. So don't get too caught up on what a correct 7 or 8 should feel like. So once you have the rating, you're going to come to the side of the hand and you're going to do what's called a setup statement. So you're just going to tap here. And the whole point of the setup statement is there's 2 parts. So first part is to acknowledge the sensation of what you're feeling and to acknowledge the emotion. And then the second part is to choose to honor that feeling or choose to know that you're safe. So we're acknowledging the more negative feeling in our body and in our mind, and then we're acknowledging the positive intention of feeling the feeling. So it sounds something like this. Even though I'm feeling anxiety in my body and I have this lump in my throat, I choose to stay present with this feeling. And you're going to repeat this 3 times. Even though I'm feeling anxiety because he's not texting me back, I don't know what that means, and I feel anxious, and I feel a lump in my throat, I choose to know that I am safe. So you can play with the words and what you are choosing on the other side. For the 3rd time, even though I feel this anxiety in my body and it's hard for me to concentrate and I have a lump in my throat, I choose to honor what it is that I'm feeling. And then you would come up to your eyebrow and just acknowledge again the anxiety. So this anxiety, side of the eye. I'm feeling anxiety in my body, under the eye. I have this lump in my throat, under the nose. He's not texting me back and I feel anxious. Chin. So much anxiety. Collarbones. I don't know what to do with my anxiety. Under the arm. I really want him to text me back. Top of the head. This anxiety in my throat. I'm feeling this lump in my throat. And then you come back to your heart here. So what you're doing when you're tapping through the points is you're acknowledging, again, the more negative feeling. And what we're doing there is we're allowing it space to move. So checking in with yourself and say, on the scale of 1 to 10, where is your sensation now? And if that's gone up or down, that's all information. Nothing's good or bad. The purpose is not to rid yourself of the feeling. It's to help integrate the emotion. So if you need to do another round to come down to a level that feels helpful for you and what you're trying to do as you go about life, keep repeating the same round. And it can be as simple as this anxiety, I'm feeling anxiety in my throat. Just naming whatever it is. When you come back in to check in, noticing if the scale had come down and also noticing if that sensation moved. So sometimes it will start in our throat and then it'll move to our chest, and then we'll start to feel sadness. So giving yourself space for this to be fluid. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So even if you are tapping through the points and talking out loud about how anxious you are, that's perfect. That's a perfect way to use it. Tapping in any way is better than not tapping at all. So even if you don't remember anything from this video other than to start tapping when you're feeling something, that's going to help you become present with your body. This looks a little bit different when you are working with a practitioner, because me as your practitioner can ask you curious questions about what's going on and help guide the process. So using it to go down deeper into deeper memories or understand traumas, comfort our inner child when we were younger, that's better done with a practitioner. But you can use tapping by yourself to just regulate the nervous system and just help yourself feel safe and grounded as you are feeling a feeling. So use this tool, use this tutorial as much as you need. Comment below if you have questions, email me, reach out. I love to hear how these tools are working for you. And if you are interested in using this with a practitioner, reach out and we can talk about what that looks like. I specialize in working with women who are fed up with their relationship patterns, who are ready to do the work, to take accountability for where they can, to regain control over their life, to wake up to their life, to lucidly live, and to know that you have the power and the control to not be just in your default patterns all of the time. So there's an exploratory session link below here if you're interested in exploring what coaching looks like with me. And if you are a right candidate for that, we'll talk all about it. And I can't wait to meet you. I hope this was helpful.